So hi, this is Nick and I'm here with Janie. Hi Janie, how are you?
Hi, yeah, really well, thank you. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, just saying it's funny to be interviewing you. You're used to being the one doing all the interviews.
It's very nice to be in the hot seat.
Yeah. So we've known each other, I think, for about 3 years now, and
Yeah.
paths have been parallel, and we've been chatting about doing something, and it's wonderful to have this opportunity to do something together now in December to launch your 6th book, isn't it?
Yes, it's very exciting. Well, it's my 6th book, but it's my first book on the work that I'm doing now, which is helping people get their message out. But yeah, so it's actually my first book in that arena, so it does feel very special.
A whole new chapter and a whole new canvas for you to be working with.
Yeah, it is. It's very exciting because my other books are all about holistic living, and I was finding that I was giving talks and doing events around, helping people grow their businesses and around, getting their message out there. And then all I had to sell afterwards, and people would say, "Oh, I'd love to read more about this," and I'd say, "Well, I've got this book which is full of information about holistic living and natural deodorants, but I haven't actually got the
Nothing
other
about
yet."
growing your own business and getting your message out
Exactly.
into the world.
So it was time to get it done. Let's put it that way. Stop procrastinating and get it done.
Great. So I know your audience are very interested in this and my audience will be very interested. So the purpose of this conversation is just to draw out a few ideas about, a few tips and a few ideas on what people are going to get from coming in the evening, as well as getting a copy of your book and one of my books too. So, first question really is, why today do you think kind of branding is so important?
Well, I really believe that the title of my book is "You Are the Brand," and I really do believe that you are the brand. And I have this conversation a lot with clients that I work with. So I work with a lot of heart-centered business owners, perhaps they're coaches or therapists, and particularly with therapists, they'll often say to me, "No, I'm not going to promote." Exactly. It's EFT that's great. It's Reiki that's great. It's aromatherapy that's great. It's nothing to do with me. No, don't look at me. And I have to remind them that, yes, of course the work you do is great and the therapy is great. Of course it is. But there are billions potentially of therapists, but there's only one you, and that's what you have to get in touch with. And when people get over the barriers, and because there are some barriers of is it only my ego, and I don't really want to be all corporate, and I don't want to think about branding and marketing and those big words. When we get over that, which I absolutely believe we can, we come back to just the authenticity. And when you've got the authentic you, then you can recognize that you, as the authentic you, with all that means, yes, you are a brand, and it's really important that you're in touch with that so that you can attract the right clients for your work. And in that way, not only can you obviously succeed and do well, but possibly more importantly, for the kind of people that you and I work with, you can reach far more people. You can help far more people if you've really got clarity on who you are and what it is you're a stand for.
Beautiful. Because what came to mind as you were speaking was that, my thinking is, well, you are a brand. So if you're in denial of it, you're missing the whole point. You might as well accept you are, because you are. And I remember having a conversation with a mutual friend of ours, Robert Holden, a few years ago. And I was doing a teleseminar series about personal branding. And I asked him the question, I said, do we need another word for branding? Because it does come with a lot of baggage, as you're saying. And his answer really inspired me. And his answer was, no, we don't need another word for branding, but we need another purpose. And we talked about that, and I love the idea that branding can be, smoke and mirrors for commercial purposes, or it can be that wonderful, authentic, inspiring expression of who we truly are. And I know that's where you're coming from, and I know where I'm coming from. So we're both kind of standing in the space where we want people to build brands so they can take their wonderful work and their gifts and their talents out into the world in the most effective way to find the people that can really benefit. That's my thinking, and that's your thinking.
Totally. And what I sometimes say is, once we've got past the title, stop worrying about the word branding then, and let's just look at, let's just get clarity on your USP. I know it's another brand type word, your unique selling point, but I spin that around and I say, let's look at your unique brilliance. Sometimes even write it out, YOU, your unique brilliance. When you're really in touch with that, then you know exactly what it is you can share. And when you start from that place, what's unique about you, what's special about you, what's different about you, because we all have our differences, thank goodness. And when you're in touch with all of that, of course, you don't necessarily use all of it in all of your marketing. I'm not suggesting that you would, but you need to be in touch with it. And it's amazing how many people aren't. Sometimes we're so caught up in running our businesses, trying to get clients, trying to keep, on that hamster wheel that we're all on. We've completely forgotten about the unique bits of us, and I find it really fascinating. Sometimes I work with clients and they'd completely forgotten something that's at the core of who they are.
Beautiful, and I call that the work you were born to do. It's
absolutely.
Like, there's that alignment that happens when I think you're doing what you're on earth to do, really.
Yeah,
and you shine and you attract, and it's just beautiful. And that's why I love this idea that it's going to help people bring themselves together. So just out of interest, why are you so personally passionate around this subject? What's been your journey and what have you seen in other people around it?
Yeah, well, I'm really passionate about sharing messages around holistic living, as you know, and that's been my work for years and years. But I'm also, of course, a communicator, and I'm a radio broadcaster and interviewer. And I love radio. I love the concept of being able to help other people get their message out, whatever it is. Of course, if it's linked to something that I'm also passionate about, I love it even more. And actually, the truth of it is, the reason I even started doing this work at all was because of the amount of times over the years. I mean, I've been working for BBC Radio 2 for 15 and a half years. And over the years, the amount of times we've had guests come into the studio to be interviewed. I mean, some of them, we have Hollywood stars, the world's great and the good, but sometimes they're they're authors or people who have their own business. And they've been given this incredible opportunity to speak to 8 million people. And on numerous occasions, I mean, I wish I could say I could count it on one hand, but it's not. It's closer to two hands. We have been pre-recording, for whatever reason, an interview, and the guest has been so just not up to speed that we've dropped the interview. Wow. And that, to me, really, it just hit me like a bolt. The first time it happened.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about it. I was quite shocked.
Therapist. I hypnotherapist. Of course, I was more than delighted. Oh man, we're going to be talking about hypnotherapy to 8 million people. Very cool. And it wasn't to be because the interview was dropped because they blew it. Now these are just skills. They're just skills, and if they're just skills, they can be learnt. And so I made my mind up at that point. Okay, well, that's something I can help with. I'll help people with that.
So your credibility to be doing this is
exactly. And also, I think that with public speaking, with being interviewed, and even if you don't want to necessarily be on TV, radio, or whatever, you're almost certainly going to at some point want to record a YouTube video or a little bit of audio. You're going to have to be prepared to just stand in the spotlight or stand up and give it. Why would you not? It's such an amazing way. Yeah. Absolutely. It's such an amazing way of connecting with other people. And when you know you're hiding from that, you're missing out on a huge potential to share your content with a wider audience.
And people are missing out on you too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's a lose-lose.
There's no doubt about it. People like to connect with your energy. This is the whole thing about You Are the Brand. You can write till the cows come home a whole load of great advertising copy for your product or your service. But ultimately, what do people do? They Google you, or they Google a picture of you, or they want to connect with you. We all want, people do business with those they like, know and trust. You'll read that lots of times in my book. I hammer that sentence home. It's true. I mean, I guess if you go to a dentist, you don't go to any dentist in any town, do you? I mean,
usually ask a friend who you recommend.
Yeah. And then once you've found one, you go to the same one because you like, know and trust them. And it's exactly the same with all the businesses that we want to do business with.
Great. So let's just give people a quick idea about what they're going to get from coming to the evening. They're going to go away with a copy of your book as a gift for coming.
Yeah.
They're going to go away with one of my books as a gift for coming. What are we going to get them to do during the evening?
Well, I think there's all kinds of things we can do, actually. We might see how it goes. I will definitely get everyone to do an exercise where they really get in touch with their unique brilliance, and that's always a lot of fun. We might do a couple of little interesting, we could do a couple of hot seats, maybe do a couple of little mini interviews or something like that. It'd be great fun, actually. So I've got it all planned out, but there'll be lots of great content. I think people will come away with a sense of who they are, the clarity. And by the way, anyone who's thinking, it all sounds so egotistical. I have a great phrase, which is, this is clarity, not vanity. This is about you sharing your message and reaching more people. I'm not asking you to show off for the sake of showing off. This is just about getting your messages across. So we'll have a couple of hot seat interviews maybe, and everyone will go away with a much clearer idea, hopefully, and they'll go away feeling hugely, I hope, hugely inspired to get their message out to a wider audience.
Wonderful. And I make that distinction between showing up versus showing off. So
Yes,
you really want people to show up, don't we?
Absolutely.
And obviously, there's going to be quite a lot of people there, so it's going to be a great opportunity to meet like-minded souls as well and have a great evening. And
yeah, definitely. I think making those connections is one of the best things, isn't it? Somehow you just get attracted, the energy, if the energy is right, it's just fabulous, that feeling of, wow, all these amazing connections I can make.
Brilliant. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely.
If I wasn't co-presenting it, I'd buy a ticket.
Me too.
So really looking forward to seeing anyone watching this coming to the evening. Looking forward to seeing you, Janie, and working with you. So thanks for taking the time to watch this, and look forward to seeing you in December.
See you then.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.